Hey, today's episode is all about something that doesn't show up on your resume, but often determines how far you'll actually go. It's called soft skills. You know the quote, your technical skills may get your foot in the door, but your people skills open most of the doors to come. That wisdom comes from today's special guest, Coach Sherita. She's known for her powerful message of skilling you softly, helping professionals build the kind of emotional intelligence, communication, and influence that truly elevate careers. Whether you're just starting out or trying to break through the next level, this episode will give you insight, real talk, and practical steps to level up your soft skills and your success. Now, let's get into it. Hey, and welcome back to the Transparent HR Podcast, where we bring real conversations to help you navigate your career and workplace challenges. It's your host, Prince Tate, and today we also have my co-host, Mario Hunt. What's going on, Mario?
What's up, Prince? Another time to sit down and have a great conversation. I'm super excited about it, bro.
Man, every time we have these episode recordings, it seems like we hadn't seen each other in months.
It's actually true.
Sometimes it makes it seem like, oh my God, we hadn't done this in a while. But man, I'm so glad that you're here with us today. Look, we're gonna have a really awesome episode today, and we do have a really special guest that we introduce in just a second. But hey, if you are returning, what are we gonna tell them, Mario?
He be catching me off guard, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. If you're returning, we're excited to have you back. And for all of the new people tuning in, come here, make it home, and stay with us, okay?
Yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow us, whatever platform that you're listening on, okay? We want to make sure that, you also send this out to someone who could benefit from listening to the Transparent HR podcast. Hey, we're giving you real practical advice in your career as well as within your workplace. So if you have questions, you have scenarios that you want to talk about, hey, send it to us. Send us a comment. Let us know what it is that you want us to talk about, and we'll talk about it. Your support continues to help us to continue to bring real conversations and insights that help you succeed in your career. Hey, so let's introduce our guest. Today we have Sarita Price. How are you doing, Sarita? Welcome to the podcast.
Hey,
Welcome.
I am awesome. Thank you for inviting me, Daniel. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So look, we all three of us worked at the same organization once before. We won't say the name of this organization,
That's
but
right. No
what we
names.
will do is say that we had a good time.
Yes, we did.
We had a good time. Hey, so before we get into the topic today, I want to go back down memory lane for just a quick second. Sarita, so look, I believe out of all three of us, I was the first one who started.
You
And
were.
then Sarita came, and then Mario came, right? In that, so look, I want us to go back down memory lane real quick. Sarita, what was your first impression about us? I want to know, what did you think? Did you think we were crazy? Did you think that? Like, what did you think about it? What was your first impressions?
Well, no, actually, my first impression was, okay, this is cool. They're fun because of course, I'm an HR professional. We come across as, we have to have that. I always called it that poker face, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But after the knew how orientations, and we kind of got to know each other. And I'm like, oh, they are so cool. We will laugh. And it was an incredible experience, both working with both of you guys, because I'm the guy. I mean, you're serious, when it's work time, but when it was after the fact, we would just laugh, and especially if something happened during the orientation, we would just go in. It would be, so you guys made work fun.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's important. I often tell people, especially my coworkers, my peers
Mhm.
in HR, I say, you have to make HR fun, right?
You
Because a
Yes.
have
lot of
to.
times people, they'll say, oh, HR is very diplomatic
The
and,
police.
and the police, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But I always say you gotta make HR fun because if not, it can get stale, right? Because all we do is hear people's problems or the organization's problem all day long, right? So
Exactly.
you gotta make it fun. Mario, what about you? What's your first impressions about us?
Okay, well, I'll do ladies first, Sarita. As she stated, poker face. She's well put together, very poised. Always looking neat as she does now. Face always together, hair always together, looking perfect. Speaks and articulates very well. So I was like, okay, so she's probably going to be super, super, twist tight, everything together. And then after we started talking, and she kind of let her guard down a little bit and saw
Mhm.
that it was a safe space. Then I got to see more personality and like now that huge, beautiful smile more often instead of her looking so business all the time. And it was great. It was really refreshing to see that. In HR, like you said, we have to kind of water it down and bring ourselves off of always being dealing with issues most of the time. We're
Yeah.
we're the fix-its. We go through and we coach and groom the leaders. We work with Sarita work kind of in that area where development and coaching. So we deal with the ER side a lot,
Yeah.
and we have to work with her to get together to kind of put it all together to make it work. So we're always synergizing, energizing, working really hard to try to fix things for the organization as well as the staff and the employees. So we could get so wrapped up in that. Sometimes it's hard to find that area where we can smile and have fun. But it's great when you find people that make it easy. And so
Right.
once we got to know each other, you made it easy, as well as Daniel. When I met Daniel, he was very young. Um,
I'm still
we met
young.
at my interview actually, and as he said, I had my three-piece suit on,
Oh,
and
yes, he
I
he
was,
had a three-piece suit on in an interview. Like, I was like, "Come on with it."
Sarita, they talked about me so bad. I was so ashamed when they finally got close enough to tell me what they said about me after my interview. And I was like, y'all did me dirty. No, like really. Because I wore my three-piece suit, so I wore my blue suit and I wore my best too with my tie and everything. I wasn't thinking about church, but when it's been in you your whole life, it's just been in you your whole life. And so, if no one else pointed out, it's been in Daniel his whole life. So I know he was the one that started that conversation talking about my three-piece suit. No one has to tell me who started that conversation.
Oh,
But I didn't think about the fact that, oh, I'm gonna put on a three-piece suit. I just put on my blue suit. We're in HR, so we're gonna put on those HR codes for interviews.
yeah, yeah.
Gray, blue, those codes. So I put on my blue suit. I thought I had it all together. They ate me up when I left out of that room. But in the end,
You got the
um,
job.
yeah, I got the
Yeah, he
job.
he got the
It
job.
made now one thing that they did tell me that made me feel good. They was like after I left out, they was like, "He's the one." Out of
Oh,
the
yeah.
people that they interviewed, they was like, it was no one had to question it. Everybody was like, "Okay," so I did my job in my three-piece suit,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so
He did it.
but once we started, Daniel was kind of real, like you, poised. You could tell he was just getting groomed, so he had to keep it super professional. And I think after a few weeks, we slowly, slowly, slowly moved into friends at work, and then kind of slowly moved into what we consider like our brotherhood. Like
Mhm.
it's been an amazing journey. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's been an amazing journey. But so this organization that we worked at, this was my first full-time HR professional job. And honestly, I did not know what to expect, right? Especially you have, you know, more seasoned professionals coming in, like yourself, like both of you, right? And so I really didn't know what to expect. But coming in the door, Sarita, I mean, we just connected, right?
Mhm.
We was in orientation and we were talking and man we just had a good time, right? And it's all about personality, right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, be professional but also bring some personality because sometimes people they don't come and bring their personality and you don't know, how can I approach this person, right? But you came in like Mario said with that big old smile on your face and really neat and poised, and but at the same time we had a good time, right? And
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
quickly built our relationship. um and I would say that if it had not been for that relationship, I don't know, Mario, I probably wouldn't have been as fun as I am, right? But then Mario came in, and I'm gonna say this, y'all. I was super nervous when we hired Mario. I knew he was really good. And me coming in, um I just didn't want to slack, if that makes any sense. And this dude came in and he started mentoring me. He started showing me the ropes. He started showing me like how I get organized, how I should, handle certain individuals and certain people, talking about how to really navigate in the workplace. I didn't know what to expect. And so, man, working with Mario has been really a blessing in disguise, and
Thank
really
you.
making my experience as my first full-time opportunity just a great one. So, man, it's been an awesome time, and don't get three of us in a room. Like, just don't, right?
Now you got 3 of us on here, so hey.
So, hey, thank y'all for just going down memory lane. And hey, if you're listening into this episode, whether you're on YouTube or whatnot, hey, add some comments about your experience just working with your coworkers, your peers. Let us know how it's going, right? Let us know if you hadn't found that really great environment. We want to talk about it, right? So, Sharita, let's get into today's episode. We're talking about skilling you softly, those soft skills that you need to continue to progress in your career. There's a quote that you have on your website that you know your talent will get you in the door, but those soft skills will allow you to those doors to continue to open up, right? So tell us about, what got you into doing coaching, right? And how did this thing skilling you softly came about?
All right. Well, first, like I say, thank you guys first for allowing me on the show to talk about this. I call it the Skilling You Softly experience. So, of course, skilling you softly comes from soft skills. So what soft skills are those transferable skills that do not require obtain knowledge. In other words, they're people skills.
Mm,
So, emotional intelligence, conflict management, effective customer service. There's over 21 plus soft skills. And how I actually came in there is really funny because in my career, I've always been a people watcher. Didn't know why, but I always kind of watch people's behavior. I started off my career actually as an executive assistant in many different departments. It took me 12 years to get in HR
Wow,
after I graduated from college. 12.
wow.
I was in
I hear that a
finance.
lot, though.
I'm sorry.
I said I hear that a lot, like, a lot
Yeah.
of people that actually go to school for HR, it's really hard for them to
yeah.
get into the
Yes,
field.
it was very hard for me to get into HR. But it's funny. I was in sales, I was in finance, I was in all those areas, and I was so frustrated because I'm like, HR is my passion. But what I
Yeah.
did not realize, those were setting me up to learn all the operations of a company. So when I finally got into HR with a previous employer, um, I knew every function, the operations part, how it worked. And I just kind of watched people's behavior. And I always would watch my leaders, my supervisors, most of
Hmm.
them were VPs and different levels. I would watch their leadership. And I didn't really understand what soft skills was until after, probably after I got into HR. So, and I always say I always use soft skills, just give you where I am now. I don't know, Daniel, maybe you can want a little ahead, but um, soft skills are really important for to leadership because really to be an effective leader, you have to have soft skills. So that's when I kind of moved
Yeah.
in 2015 before I started working in a place of employment where we were coaching and To me, to be an effective leader or really to be a great employee, soft skills are necessary.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the skilling you softly actually came about during the pandemic after 2020. That's when I kind of shifted after I left the place of employment where we were,
Mhm.
and I went full time into my business.
Wow.
And I had developed over the years over 17, I've developed over 17 soft skill courses, curriculums that I've written. Most of my coaching now, I focus on life, leadership, as well as business coaching.
Mm.
And I use soft skills. My 30-second elevated pitch is I use soft skills methods and practices to develop leaders and build high performing teams. So, and I always say, I take a holistic approach because I am a life coach. That's what the BCCLA, I'm a certified Christian life coach, as well as the business side. And I take a holistic approach to my coaching and to my development. I like to say I help you take care of your being and your business. I'm skilling
Mm.
you softly to live and lead with confidence and boldness.
Wow, that's awesome. Isn't it amazing how sometimes you just walk into your purpose like that? You know, it's like you're able to, and sometimes we don't realize the roles that we work in, the positions that we're in, how it all works together for us to move to where we need to be, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and to me that's always amazing because it's like, or even, when hard time comes, right? It's like I don't want to go through it, but then later on after you've gone through it you realize, oh my god, I needed this skill, I needed to experience this to get to where I am or to even help other people. And that's really what it's all about. It's about helping other people, and it's sometimes it's not about you. Right?
Well, I always say that there's purpose behind everything, even those
Mm,
difficult things. Sometimes in those difficult times, at that moment you may not understand,
yeah,
but surely down the road you're going to realize I needed that. I went through that for a reason, and that there's always purpose behind it. So sometimes, even when it seems challenging, I say just write it out. Write it out.
yeah,
Always do your part and give your best. And when you've given your best, and you know that you've given your best and done your part, then you know that there's no more that you can do but just trust. Trust the process, trust God. If you believe in God, trust Him,
yeah.
and that there's a reason why it's going the way that it's going because you've done everything that you can do. And when you can't do anything, like the song said, just stand because it's going to go in the way that it needs to go. It's going to work out how it should work out. Excuse my voice, y'all. I'm a little under the weather, but we're making it work today.
No, you
Yeah.
good, man. Look, Sarita. So you talked about, getting into this thing and really coaching and, opening up your business. Can you tell us, as it pertains to soft skills, why is it really important, especially for leaders, to have these soft skills to help lead an organization or a team?
So I always use this example when I am either coaching or facilitating a class. Many times we're so focused on the technical skills, the skills you need. There are some skills like if you're a doctor or engineer, there's definitely technical skills you have to you need. But if you choose to move up into leadership or to work, just to really work with your coworkers in general, you have to have soft skills because like you stated earlier, I use this example. Say if you know someone that's an engineer, top notch, just do their job well, high performer, then they want to, many times we want to promote someone into a leadership role where you're supervising people and they have these great skills as far as technical skills,
Hmm.
but yet they have no people skills.
Mm,
They have no soft skills. So you promote them in this role, they they're more in a leadership role. You guys know this. It's
yeah,
not the technical skills. Your top skills you need are people skills. How you treat your employees. When you have conflict, you always gonna have some type of conflict
that's true.
when you're dealing with and you supervise 10 people, 100, whatever. And your skills need to be top skills need to be more soft skills than technical skills because you're
Mm,
going to need them if you want to be a successful
yeah.
leader or supervisor. And I always say that, especially in these times, I am real big on authenticity
Mm,
because your employees, people know fake and they know real.
that's true.
Some of the best supervisors I've had, I learned so much from them, not necessarily because of their technical skills, but because how they treated their employees, how their
Yeah.
employees reacted to them, the respect that they have. And I've had some great employees, some great supervisors, and when I was in corporate America, and I had some not so great supervisors. But here's the thing: I still learned from the not so great supervisors. What I learned is what not to do.
That is
Mhm.
absolutely correct. You learn what
Yeah.
not to do, right?
What not to do. That's right.
And everything you're speaking is exactly one of the most influential aspects of being in leadership, which a lot of leaders do not understand because, we work on the coaching side when it comes to ER, right? Um, and a lot of the issues, even with the employees and leadership, is not technical skills, but more
That's
so
true.
finding that commonality on how to communicate properly, how to lead properly. A lot of leaders think that just being in leadership is just telling people what to do all the time. But a lot of time, it's more so if you can come in and you have those good people skills, build good relationships with people, and you can get a person to do everything you want, even the things that they do not want to do, and get them to do it and feel like they should and that they want to do it just because of the relationship that you built with them. I tell leaders all the time, if you take care of your people when they need you to take care of
Mhm.
them, when
Mhm.
you
They'll
need to
take
be
care of you.
taken care of, you won't have to beg. You won't even have to ask sometimes. If it's something happens and that you need them to come in at a time that they don't have to come in, they're off work, they don't have to come in, they don't have to hit that clock, but they know that you need them and you've taken care of them, they will volunteer. You will not have to ask. But it's because the lack of people skills, it keeps a lot of leaders from getting to that point to where they can develop that relationship with their employees and their subordinates to where they could have that finesse of building a
Yeah.
relationship along with the business part. This is the things that we need to take care of.
Yeah.
This is the gray area in the room where we can make it fun, where we can make it flexible, where we can, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Now you have to be really careful with that. But at the
Yeah.
same time, build that precedence to where
Yeah.
you treat people like people and
Yeah.
not like workers.
Yeah. And
So
it
that's
to me it's all about mutual respect, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
Like as people, they're not just robots ready for, your command, right?
Yeah.
And when I really think about this from the ER side of HR, most of the times when employees come and have a complaint, it's because that leader lacks soft skills.
Mhm.
Yes.
And that's the reality of it. Yeah, you're a good worker, you have good technical skills, man, you know how to put a spreadsheet together. But how do you talk to your employees, right? And even as peers and coworkers and professionals, sometimes it's not, that person don't know what they're doing. It's about, oh, how do they communicate? Do they have emotional intelligence to know, that the conversation is not going well, right? And so then you have employees coming to HR complaining about, I feel like I'm being bullied or harassed. And then we have to look at, okay, is it really bullying? Is it really harassment? Or is it the fact that your leader just don't have soft skills?
No.
Or they're not focusing on how to be really great leaders from a people side, right? And so, when I think about this again, we have a lot of employees coming to HR because of that, right? And the employee, they're not going to see, oh, they don't have soft skills. Since I've been in HR, I hadn't had an employee come and say, hey, I want to make a formal complaint on my leader because they don't have soft skills. They're gonna go directly to, I feel like I'm being harassed. I feel like I'm being discriminated against. I feel like I'm being bullied, right? And so that's what they're gonna do. So how do you really help not just leaders but people from a holistic viewpoint, how do you help them start attaining these soft skills that they need in the workplace?
So, first thing first, you have to do a self assessment. Many times I always use, especially when I'm coaching, sometimes it's not about the answer, it's about asking the right question.
Mm,
So, helping them to really just, first focus on maybe, especially it's a situation, if dealing with an employee, um, first, become, personable with them. I always like to say, let's breathe, let's, calm down. Let's just have general conversation to get to really thinking about certain things. So I would say, and I think what you're asking me, Daniel, is how do I help people with their soft skills to, so really a self-assessment. First,
mm,
take them down that road of really um, identifying, getting clarity, because 9 times out of 10, not saying that the person that, is not bullying or whatever, we need to take a self assessment of ourselves and what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses,
mhm.
and getting clarity. Because if you know, there are 5 components of emotional intelligence. The first one I always focus on is self awareness,
Wow.
being self-aware, self-regulated. How do I regulate my emotions?
Mm,
And I think with leaders, especially, emotional intelligence is, to me, is one of the top soft skills
yeah.
that is needed. Because when you are more aware of yourself and your reactions and how you can really relate more to other people.
Yeah.
So, whether that's coaching, whether that's sometime, it just depends on what level you are. I always say this, I coach people, but I don't coach everybody because I have a assessment that I give the person. And sometimes
Mm.
they may need a counselor before they need a coach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't just offer, oh, I'm going to coach you. I have an assessment I've actually built myself, because there's a saying where a counselor will actually help you through your mess, but a coach will give you a bucket and mop and help you clean it up.
Mm,
So, really self assessment to me is the worst thing. You got to set clear goals. You got
yeah.
to, um, I'm just always starting with self first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Know and realize, it's just like you don't realize something. And you said something earlier, people don't talk about soft skills because people don't really know what soft skills are.
Mm,
They're more focused on the productivity part and the
That's
revenue
it.
part. And see, we as HR, we know that. But I always say, and I'm trying to get these executives and leaders to understand your lack of soft skills, and the thing, especially you guys know, incivility now is top. It's going, and people can't even get along now. And this is causing a high turnover rate. This is causing, I'm just like, you don't connect the lack of soft skills, incivility with affecting your bottom line.
yeah.
I don't know, maybe we're not just doing a good job of trying to tell them, because when you have soft skill issues, a lack of,
Mhm.
that messes with your revenue.
So,
Well, the thing is, go ahead, Danny, I'm sorry.
well, I actually, you have 5 top soft skills.
Hmm.
And I really want us to dive into those top skills. And you talked about one of them, which being emotional intelligence.
Hmm.
So what are some of the other top skills, the top 5 soft skills that we're talking about here that people need to be aware of and need to be knowledgeable about?
So, and I'm gonna put this out here before I say that. So, what I've learned, a lot of the soft skills they're interchangeable. One is on the other. So, the second one for me is effective communication. We do not know, as it's one of those soft skills that we don't know how to communicate with each other. Effective communication. How is your listening skills? How are you communicating? Sometimes, like, you have the verbal and nonverbal skills. Like, I'm practicing both. I use my hands a lot when I'm talking. Listening skills. If we would stop and listen, there's a technique to that. listen before
Yeah.
sometimes, especially when we're in a conflict management, a situation, which is another soft
Yeah.
skill, we're too busy trying to think what I'm going to say, and you're not effectively listening to the person that you're
Have you
communicating.
seen that video on Facebook? It say, "Listen, Linda, listen."
I haven't seen that one.
It was
It's old. We used to
it's
do that one a
old,
lot.
yeah. Listen, it's a little kid.
Listen,
Listen,
Linda,
Linda,
listen.
listen.
So yeah, effective communication, emotional intelligence, conflict management. Oh my God, that's huge. And how to deal with conflict. And one thing I'm noticing now, especially the younger generation, that is one of the skills that is so lacking, is how to deal with conflict. Everybody, and to going back at effective communication, you have now with texting and what all those different types of communication. We need to. One thing I'm noticing that we are not really teaching, or they're not being taught soft skills on when to use certain tools. If you're in a heated discussion or something, text is not it. It is not.
Nowadays it is.
It is, yeah.
They want
But
to
I
text
mean, seriously,
everything.
if you want to really resolve a conflict, you need to pick up the phone, your cell phone, or person to face, because you can't see body language and tone over a text. And I use that quite a bit when I'm talking about effective communication.
But
Yeah.
they can record now. And see, we're more on the traditional side. I'm with you, Sarita. Now they can hold the thing and actually speak to you and tell you what they want to tell you and text it to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
But you know what?
is.
I still said that's still more effective than just the words, because at least if you're recording it, I do it a lot. You can hear my voice, you can hear my tone, you can hear.
Oh, she got attitude. No.
Yeah,
She said that with her attitude. I see where she is. I see where you at. I'm gonna
yeah,
check your temperature. No.
yeah. So at least with that, that's better than just a text, and you can't see face to tone. You can't hear any of that.
But I feel like, honestly, on that point, while we're there, for me, that is not enough for me, even with that. I feel like sometimes that personable conversation needs to take place. And sometimes that is what is the breakdown in miscommunication, when you're texting, when you're assuming based off of something like that, a video or something like that. A lot of times it's just being able to take 5 seconds. I remember I used to get told this all the time. And then when I say this, you're gonna remember it's not from that institute where we worked at, but another institute where we worked together. I would always get a call from my leader, and she would say, "Mario, stop emailing and just pick up the phone and call."
Oh yeah,
Um,
because
because
he'll go in a email war.
ooh, Lord Jesus, I will give you everything in that email, and but I'm more articulated through conversation. I'm really good with people. I know how to have those conversations with people, but
Mhm.
sometimes if I get an email and I'm like, hold up, and so all of that buffer from the conversation where you bring it down and you change your tone, you say, "Hey, Sarita, so I got your email. And it seems like you may be a little something may have pressed a few buttons or something like that. So can you kind of give me some insight of exactly what it is that you're saying? Because I don't want to take it the wrong way." That little bit of finesse
Yeah,
can change
that's
the
true.
tone, you
Exactly.
know? And I feel like that's missing
Yeah,
in the workplace with all this AI. Um, like you said right now, a lot of leaders are just concerned about numbers,
yeah,
metrics, performance, but they don't understand how soft skills can change that, completely change it. Instead of managing a person through email, um, managing a person through metrics, having those conversations. Sometimes you do have to go personal. Sometimes
yeah,
you have to see, if I'm looking at Sarita and I'm seeing she looks tired all the time. She comes in, she's rushing.
yeah,
She looks like she's got a lot going on. Instead of just pushing numbers and emailing her and say, "Hey, Sarita, I need you to meet those numbers today. Hey, Sarita, I need you to meet those meetings." Taking 5 minutes to stop in and say, "Hey, Sarita, how are you? You look like you've been a little stressed or that you got a lot going on. Are you okay?" Sometimes just letting a person know that you're concerned, having some empathy, having a little time and giving them some energy that you care about what's going on with
Mhm.
them. you'll find out that some of the things that they need that you won't find out just from watching, you get from a
Mhm.
small conversation. So
Exactly.
those soft skills are super, super important. And if you think your metrics can turn around by performance, it can really turn around through performance management. If you touch on soft skills, you can get a lot out of people if you just understand where they are and what's going on with them.
I agree 1000%. Yes.
And it's for me, it's not about trying to beat the system or be manipulative, right? But it's really about being intentional, right?
Yes.
And so when people hear this, it's not to be like, oh, how can I get them to perform better? But it's really about authenticity. And people, hey, they know when you're being authentic, and they know when you're just trying to pull a wool over them, right? So it's all about being intentional and leading with intentionalities, right? Sometimes I can't talk right,
Come
but
on, big word. No.
I wanna
intentionality.
I wanna
Did you
add
catch that, Sarita? Intentional.
I wanna add this too, which brings me to the next soft skill. Relationship building is a soft skill.
Mm, it is.
It's important.
Yeah. So, and this shows how relationship building it ties back to the other soft skills, being emotionally intelligent,
Hmm.
as well as being an effective communicator. You
Yeah.
got to have those. If you're trying to build a relationship, you have to have authenticity. You have to need to have a form of transparency as well. When you are, because like great example that Mario gave, pay attention to your employees, build those relationships. I would say, especially if you are a supervisor, what have you, and just in general, there's a fine line as far as relationship. You don't want to get too personable.
Right.
However, you want to know enough about that particular employee to build relationship, have them feel comfortable, and like you stated earlier, have a safe space for them.
Yeah.
I remember I was
Yeah.
working at a company. It was the first company organization that I worked for. Actually, it was an HR role. I'll tell you about my journey in
Mm.
HR, and it was a particular HR manager. He had been there at this company. Oh God, 25 something years. Everybody loved this man. It was at careful. It was at a warehouse, and I know there were over hundreds and hundreds of employees. This HR manager knew every employee name in the warehouse. He knew everything about every one of them. Every morning when he got to work early, he would go through the warehouse, meet, greet. Hey, how are you? How's your mother? Did your daughter have her baby? He knew everything about every employee,
Wow.
everything. And that you don't find that anymore.
Wow.
I think he's retired now, but he was part of the baby boomer generation, you
But
know.
it works.
Yeah,
It
it
works
worked.
in all aspects. I'm gonna call a name of a old friend of mine, but she's got a lot of accolades, and it's not in the workplace as a leader, but in academia as a professor. The um he's over the music department at Cordova High School, and his name is Adrian Macklin. He just got awarded with the Grammy Awards awarded him
Yeah.
for his
Mhm.
for the practice there. One thing Adrian did, and it was a real big thing. I don't know who started. I don't think he started, but he picked it up really quickly, or he may have started it. But he did a clip that he posted out where he had learned his students well enough to where he could turn his back, and if they spoke,
Oh,
he
yeah.
could identify who they were. Now, that's some very, the word intimacy is kind of spread out, but that's some real big relationship and intimacy to build
Mhm.
enough with 20 to 25, maybe even 30 different students or even employees. And just with your back turned, if they say a word to you, you know exactly who you're speaking with. You've paid
Mhm.
attention to that person. You know the tone of their voice.
Yeah.
You know them when you hear them and you don't have to see them. And I think a lot of places have lost touch with that. We don't get to know the people that we work with. We're hiring people
Exactly.
in numbers just to get the job done.
Yeah.
And that affects all of those things from relationship building, because you haven't built a relationship, you don't know them, to the people skills. You don't know how to talk to each individual differently because we all are different. Daniel takes conversations and probably coaching completely different from me, as well as you, Sarita.
Mhm.
It's not a one size fits all. Oh, I've learned emotional intelligence. I've learned how to,
That's
finesse
true.
relationship building. You have to learn individuals in order to be able to manage them and build different relationships for each one of them. And I think that's where we're losing touch in business, in the professional world. We're bringing in AI, and I'm not against AI because it's great.
Mhm.
That chat, what is it? Chat GPT.
GPT. Yeah.
Why did you say it like that?
I'm
He said
traditional. I'm so
he
traditional.
said, "That
Let me
chat,
tell you.
that
Let me tell
chat
you.
is
Daniel
Chat
speaks about it all
GPT."
the time, and I'm not trying to jump out of countries, but Daniel speaks about it all the time. I own a clinic now, Sarita, and just yesterday I had a nurse practitioner that came in. She is actually one of our patients, and she's in healthcare too. And she came in, Tiffany came in, and she was like, we have a thing where we're doing, if you go on social media on Facebook and you check in while you're there, we'll give you a discount off of your full service, whatever you're there for.
Uh-huh.
And so she was like, I said, say something real nice about us. Say something real nice. We want people to see and come over and see us. And she said, you want me to go to Chat GPT? I was like, what? And she said, I said, oh, that's that thing that my friend uses all the time. And she was pulling up and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, I hear about it all the time, but I still haven't used it. She's like, oh, you got to get it. It's real neat. So I'm really interested and excited about learning that. But that stuff is great, but sometimes that stuff is not going to take away
Oh
from
yeah.
that personable interaction,
Oh yeah.
having
Yeah.
those conversations. And I know that was a long way to get to the point, but that's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes having those tools work great for performance wise and for management, but don't take away the personable side. Don't take away those soft skills
Yeah.
that we need in the workplace.
And you know what? That's a great segue into the creativity is a soft skill. People don't know that. But I'm like you. Now don't get me wrong, in all aspects, actually I'm in the process of I'm going to the next level. I'm getting ready to get my certification in AI because I
You
use
go.
it. I use it a great deal, but I use it more of for an academic. Because if you don't know, I'm a college instructor too. I'm an adjunct professor, and I'm at the University of Memphis now.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
you go, girl. All right.
Yeah,
This big
yeah.
time. You go, girl.
I teach entrepreneurship and innovation at University of Memphis as well as Grand Canyon. So, and I'm constantly having to soft skills versus because a lot of students now want to use this to write their papers. I'm like, no, AI is for I'm so not anti-AI. I'm not because I use it sometimes to help. Sometimes it helps you generate ideas.
Yeah.
That's what it's
Yeah.
really, really good for. But I am a creative, so I like to create my own,
Oh yeah.
I pick and choose. But many times as far as creativity, because someone asked me, you think AI is going to fix soft skill creativity? I said no, it shouldn't, because if you are original, you like to create things, you have to know the balance between that. And I always say too, get in your flow, whatever, be creative. And that's what I love now. I'm noticing more in the world of HR. Companies are allowing, as far as employee engagement, they're allowing their employees to be more part of the team, to bring their creativity to the workforce. It's not like this is how it is. You're going to do it this
Mhm.
way, and we don't want your ideas. That's not going to work.
But
Well,
it's a
I'll say,
lot of companies that's still in the past.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't want your creativity. I went through an interview, interviewing with this company, and I provided a lot of great, creative ideas. And when I got to the interview, they told me, well, we want you to, just learn the organization, see how we do it first, see how, and there's nothing wrong with, of course, learning, how that organization operates. But when you stress that point, that's a red flag for me that, hey, there's no creativity at this organization.
And that's
Right.
true. That's very true. And it depends on, you guys know, it depends on the company culture. Because
Hmm.
way I have been, I don't, praise God, I don't interview anymore. But I used to go to different companies and interview. They're interviewing me, but I am interviewing them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because if my if my values, what I believe in and what I do not align with their mission and vision and their values, they're
Right.
not the company that I want to work for. And I
Right.
think sometimes, especially the much younger generation, especially Gen Z, I don't know, are you millennial or Gen Z, Daniel? Which generation are you?
I'm right in the middle between both
Okay.
of them.
I know you're a millennial, right?
I am very much
Okay.
so.
He's on the
Yeah.
top scale
So
of millennial.
I'm a Gen Xer. Um, so I try to teach some of the younger people I kind of mentor who are going into the workforce that not you interview them as well as
Mhm.
have nothing is
It's
worth
important.
telling. Have questions at the end. Don't say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't have any questions." Yeah, you listen. You put your effective community. Listen to what they're saying, so you may
Yeah.
determine that you may not want to work for this company because of that. So creativity is very important. A lot of companies are losing out because they do not allow their employees. And this one thing, and I just got to get this in there. We use the term in HR human capital. I detest that word because you know when I hear the word human capital, you know what it sounds like I'm hearing herd of cattle.
Yeah, I get it. I
Seriously,
don't
I
like
don't
it either.
use. I
I
hate
don't
I
like
do
it.
not like human
It's
capital.
it's certain words that I do not like.
Yeah.
That's one. I don't like the word or the term boss.
Oh,
Cause
yeah.
who bossing who? Who
Right.
bossing who? Nobody's boss. We're all adults here,
Yeah.
right? Leader. I always leader, manager.
Yeah.
Supervisor.
Yeah.
But bossing, mentor. No, no bossing. Like no one's. And I think that's in their mind when they get
Mhm.
in some leadership roles. I'm the boss now. I'm
Yeah.
the boss now. No. Please take that. I don't like it. You want to treat people as people.
That's true.
I don't want anybody to boss me around. I want someone to lead me, help
Yeah.
groom me,
Mhm.
help me grow so that I can go in whatever direction I'm trying to go into the field that I want to be in. If I want to progress up, if I'm comfortable where I am, but I want to be a little creative with my role and maybe stay at the level that I'm in, but move in another role that offers more flexibility, more creativity, me to synergize or energize or use other skills and soft skills as well.
Mhm.
But don't boss.
Oh,
Lead
oh, no.
people,
Yeah.
lead, help manage them,
Exactly.
give them the resources to become better, whether it's growing up, staying in the same level they're in, but being able to take those transferable skills to maybe another position and use those so that they don't get bored,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's so
Yeah.
Yeah.
many ways that you can look at it that people do not look at it,
Yeah. No,
so those
absolutely.
type of things. But I'm gonna tell you
Absolutely.
this too, Sarita and Prince, this creativity is what's going to plummet a lot of companies. Now they're investing in AI. You want to know why? Because the new generation have tapped into exactly what you just talked about, Sarita, creativity. They have
Mhm.
realized that I don't
Oh,
have to
yeah.
come in your office and work a regular 8 to 5 every day and dress up in your suits, in your tie. I can make my own money. I can create my own job. I can and get right online and blog. I can get right online. They can do exactly what we're doing right now and make money off of that. They
Mhm.
can start their own online stores. They
Yep.
are being creative and creating their own jobs because they do not want
Mhm.
to go in and sit. But we have become what we have adapted to being as the workforce in the professional environment is not what they want. They
Right.
want flexibility.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want they want to progress. They want equal and fair pay, and they're not afraid to say it. They're not
Mhm.
afraid to fight for it, and they are not afraid to walk away because they can
Oh, yeah.
figure out a way to make money on their own without your business. So it's very, very important that they allow these people, and
Oh, yeah.
especially the youth, to be able to use that creative energy, to be able to come in, have that flexibility to come in and not be sit or not have to sit in an office from 8 to 5 because they do not want to do that. It's a different workforce now.
It is
So
No.
a
it's
different
No.
important.
workforce.
Yeah, and
I
you're
think so.
absolutely right, Mario. I when I think about that, a lot of the younger generation, they've seen their parents struggle. They've seen
Mhm.
their grandparents struggle, especially pensions. You don't even hear that no more, right?
Being loyal
Um,
to a job
but
because it's
yeah,
only going to give you 3 to 6% every year, and sometimes not even that.
yeah. So, from the younger generation, they don't want to have to go through all of that. And then at the end of it, they have nothing to see how hard they worked for, right? So man, y'all, this has been a great conversation today. Really, really awesome. Sherita, you gave us 5 soft skills that are really important for today's workforce, not just for leaders, but for professionals as well. Number one, with emotional intelligence. Number two, effective communication. Number three, relationship building, creativity, and conflict management. Sherita, before we get out of here, is there anything else you would like to share about soft skills and why it's really important in today's workforce?
With everything going on, yes, in today's workforce, it's kind of like soft skills is becoming, I'm seeing more and more, especially HR SHRM, they're talking more and more about soft skills. And it's to the point where if we want to be a vital, productive working force, we're going to have to start engaging more, hiring coaches like me or different people who are soft skill experts to bring it in, because even though with AI, you still got to have people.
That's
And
true.
one of the things I always say with the times that we're going through, and I use this a lot, soft skills get you through hard times.
Yeah. Prince, if you may, or if you will, Sarita, can you just take about 60 seconds? Because I know we're coming towards the ending of the show. Take 60 seconds, and with all the information that you've given us, all the details that you've given us about your wonderful business, come on, give us a little bit of sell us on it. Let the people know what you bring to the table. Tell us about your business, where you can be reached, what you bring to the table, so that after this is done, and they see all of these skills that you have, what all you have to offer, they'll know how to reach out to you, and maybe we can get you a little bit more involved and help these people understand how important it is to have those 5 things that you
Sure.
just brought up today.
So I am actually on all social media platforms. LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, even Alignable is another platform that's up and coming. LinkedIn is where I do majority of. You can reach out to me. I also have a website, and it's FSP, like FSP, which stands for from Sarita's Pen. That's my writer's name. FSPenterprises.net is my website. And as far as what I can bring to the table, I have worked in every industry. I've worked in the medical industry, the telecommunication industry, um, logistics, supply chain management. So it's not any industry that I am even in the education. I not only, academics, I actually work with the school system too, as well. So like I said, soft skills are so needed, and people don't realize it would help you to really, really with your turnover rate. And it's really, really important as far as if you want to keep your employees happy as well. So that's how you can reach me and everything. I actually have an apparel line too. I don't know if you knew that.
Hey,
Come on.
use the skills and dress them
I am
up.
my company is multifaceted. It's just not only coaching, but I actually have an apparel line. You can find everything that I do. I'm an author. I've just written a new book last year as well. Everything is self development. So you can find everything that I do on my website, because I'm
What's the
all things Memphis as well. I just created a brand new apparel, new shirt called I Am. It's ask you a question and make a statement. I'm fighting for Memphis. Are you?
and what's the name of that book, Sarita?
The book that I have, do I have a copy? I don't have a copy here. It's called Wisdom from Sarita's Pen for Daily Living in the Workplace. It's
Hey,
inspirational quotes that I wrote work
Man,
that
that's
help you in your
awesome.
daily life. And I talk a lot about soft skills in the book. And there's a lot of spiritual information, because I have learned how to connect ministry to the marketplace as well.
Man, that's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sharita, for joining us. And that was going to be the last question. How can people connect to you? So thank you, Mark. See, I have an awesome co-host, right?
We here. We there.
So if you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the Transparent HR podcast, share it with a friend, and leave us a review. Remember this, your talent might get you noticed, but it's your people skills that build trust, open doors and keep opportunities flowing. Coach Sarita's message of skilling you softly is a powerful reminder that emotional intelligence, presence, and how you treat others matter more than ever before. So take inventory of your soft skills, speak up, listen well, and lead with empathy. And if you know someone that's trying to level up, send this episode their way. Let's keep building careers that aren't just successful, but sustainable. Again, it's your host, Prince Tate, along with
Your boy Rio.
along with Mario. And until next time, keep navigating your career with clarity and with confidence. See you then.